Welcome to today's video. We're talking about the Queen Walk Earthquake attack, the new and improved ability to use an earthquake and win. Now the key here is I'm going to give you a jump spell after this video and then an earthquake, and we're going to talk about why use an earthquake. Now on this base right here is Groovy Tony. You know him, Time Tell Fell Tony. He says why not just bring wall breakers there? Now you certainly can. However, the danger is wall breakers are dangerous to use for newer players. They're a lot harder. So if you are curious why earthquake and not jump spell here, remember when you use an earthquake spell, the queen aggroes into the walls and through the walls much easier than a jump spell. Typically with jump spells, she likes to hug walls. She likes to go for the outside defenses. With an earthquake, she will step in, or with a wall break. So that is why Toxic Melvin here, the pro himself, is using this strategy of the earthquake. Look at how the queen goes in. Now, he did funnel with the king, but if there was a jump spell, you know, it's just more of a risk, right? It's more of a risk, and I know it requires some extra spell space, but okay, but the difference is, what about wall breakers? Well, you have to account for, if you're new to the game, you're not good with wall breakers, it does count for extra space. So you're going to need a test wall breaker, and you're going to need probably 4. So I usually like to bring 5 wall breakers on a break like that. And if you're going to do a double break, you're going to have to bring even more wall breakers or use a rage with the wall breakers. And those double breaks are much harder. I would say leave that for the pros until you can get a little more comfortable yourself. Now, why is Toxic Melvin coming in from 2? You wonder, why not 6? Come on, 6 is the key. 6 is the play. Queen's going to 12? No. Look, the sweeper. Do you see the sweeper facing 6 o'clock? Just don't make those, that's just common sense right there. He might have planned that out before the raid, but if not, these are the moments if you have to take 1-2 seconds on the battlefield, get a spotter to say, hey, sweeper's still up, then you already know, okay, I got to come in from 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock area. And that's exactly what he does. And he doesn't have to fight the sweeper. Would he have failed if he come in at 6? He might have. And the reason I say so, look what he's got up. No more spells. He would have had to use his spells earlier on coming in from 6. He might not have had enough juice to get 12 o'clock and 1 o'clock down. So it does certainly matter. At times, certainly if you're limited on spell space with the Quad Quake, you will be limited on the spell space. So just keep aware of that. I also noticed that, and I like to save 1 or 2 loons for the back end. You notice the Wizard Tower at 6? Just say, for example, he lost most of his loons early on. He only had a couple at the end. You need that distraction loon. You need that distraction loon to make sure the rest of your main bulk of loons doesn't die. So try to save 1 or 2. You certainly can afford it, and it's not going to be a deal breaker, in my opinion, if you don't put all your loons down at the beginning of the raid. Now, here's my next attack, and why not use Earthquake here? Why is he using a jump spell? Well, what is he doing? He's queen charging into the town hall, and notice the only option for an earthquake spell here is to earthquake right over the kind of CC compartment. You can see over there to open up all that, but you don't need to do that. A jump can do the same thing. A jump can gain access to the Inferno Towers and the air defenses as you need. And notice these queen charges are very difficult. He didn't actually have to use a lot for funneling. Now, queen charging into a corner is one of the hardest things to do for a new player, but notice what he did. Why did he pick that side up there? Well, he used the army camps to his advantage, right? The army camps give extra space so the queen goes in. That is why it's super dangerous to come in on a corner if you're a new player. Say you decide, oh, I'm going to come in on another corner. Well, beware that you might put yourself in a pickle and not be able to get out of it. Anyways, beautifully done from Hades here from Toxic Rabbits. Just letting me come over and show some replays. But here comes the jump spell. And notice, what would the earthquake have done? Absolutely nothing. You say, well, maybe it would have done damage to the defenses. Sure. Yes, it would have done damage. So queen would have been sped up a bit. However, you have to account for losing extra spells, right? You're going to lose extra spells when you bring the earthquake. It's not worth it. Here comes the Lalo section, going to be coming in at the 9 o'clock section. And why, again, at the 9 o'clock section? Well, notice, Sweeper is not facing 9 o'clock. Sweeper's facing 3. Technically, you could have come in on both sides, right? It's a symmetrical L-shaped entry. You could have come in on both sides, but why put yourself in that position? And in this attack, it came down more to the wire, And, the sweeper certainly would have mattered. Right? Certainly would have mattered. It's not as dominant as the last attack, only because the slammer was up in the last attack. Remember? Slammer was up in the last attack, plus this wasn't even maxed out, and the base was not as good either. So, still, those things matter. Anyways, you wonder, why show this attack? Well, guys, I know y'all face regular clans, regular bases, and I wanted to show that. Anyways, thanks again for watching. I appreciate it. Here is some differences between Earthquake and Jump and a new Queen Walk. Subscribe for more awesome content. Halo out.